Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Almighty and everlasting God, who presides over all things in heaven and earth, come and preside over these deliberations so that those that make the decisions may be guided by your wisdom. Please remain standing, please, for a moment of silence for former City Administrator Rick Kaczynski. Thank you.
You're up, Charles.
Very formal today.
I was not Charles. Tricky.
No, that's...
Afternoon. Apologies from the mayor. He's not available tonight. There's only one item on the mayor's agenda, a proposed resolution authorizing the proper city officials to make opioid settlement money expenditures in an amount not to exceed $65,000 on allowable items, which include but are not limited to the following: anti-drug awareness and educational materials focused on preschool, elementary, and middle school students. This initiative will focus on educational meetings, age-appropriate anti-drug awareness materials designed to instruct young people about the dangers of drug use. Citywide drug awareness and prevention billboard advertising, and opioid safety equipment for the Wilkes-Barre Fire Department. So just let me flesh that out a little bit. There is every year distributed by the state according to a very complicated formula pursuant to an opioid settlement that was entered into, I think 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, with a number of states' AGs with the drug companies, in which the city gets money distributed. However, the money that's distributed is very narrowly restricted as to the use, very heavily regulated. It's not something that we could just say, well, we're going to go and, let's say, get an ambulance that'll provide services to opioid persons, things like that. It's extremely restricted. And for the last couple of years, we've been toying with things that might land under the agenda, under the regulations. And what precipitated this was, at some point, you have to use the money or you will lose it. It has to go back to the state. So it's been sitting in an account. And at this point, approximately $61,000 should go back to the state unless we have an ability to use it pursuant to the regulations. So this will be organized distribution to children's assemblies, things like that. We're going to work with the school district, the local schools, to different pieces of educational material, anti-drug educational material. Also, the police department, community officer initiatives are going to have available these type of things and when they interact with the community and with children and families. The fire department, by statute, was required to make upgrades to their security systems regarding their holding of opioids in the firehouse. So this will pay for the upgrades that are required by the statute to keep the opioids under security, higher security cameras, a thumbprint to get at the opioids. Now that's all required by statute. So, and we have, and billboards. So I hope that answers sort of generally what we're going to be doing with it and cooperating with the schools. We're going to be reaching out to the school district and also the private schools to arrange for assemblies, distribution. We'll probably be bringing the fire department, the police department, the K-9 unit, things that the kids will enjoy and get their attention.
Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I have a question. I have a comment first and then a question. My comment is, what a sad state of society have we've become that we have to educate preschool kids on not to do drugs. That's really sad. Obviously, these things are all needed. I see in the paper that it was reported that money is going to be distributed to 2038
Yes, it's long-term.
So
Yeah.
every year we'll get a piece of money?
We have been getting, right.
Okay.
I think we have a little over 200. I don't have the exact. I think there's right now a little over 200 in the account for it. So this will be the first tranche out of that.
Right, and then we'll continue. So
Now, I'm
we can always-
hoping, because it's so far down the road, that the state eases up on their regulations, that we can use it for a little bit.
Right.
We're fortunate. We have a health department.
Yeah.
Not a lot of cities have that. So it's hard for the city of Wilkes-Barre to be able to qualify because we do so much with all of our situations. So we really don't have a specific item that we can just point to and that we're not able to provide.
Right.
So this is going to be a difficult issue unless the state eases up on some of the uses.
Charlie, you were mentioned that there's 61,000. I didn't pick up on that. I didn't understand what you meant.
We have up to 65,000 in the resolution. I believe the number that has to go back is about 61,000 unless we use it. So we tried to tie it to restrict it, again, because we're hopeful that we might be able to get easier uses in something that's a little bit more impactful for the city of Wilkes-Barre down the road. So, but if we don't use 61,000, it goes back to the state.
Well, let's put up a couple more billboards. Billboards are allowed.
There you go.
Put your picture on it. Say, this is what happens to you when you have drugs.
I'd like to
Don't
make,
print that.
Do I have to,
I have a quick comment.
will that be me standing or sitting?
No, I'm glad you guys are working with Wilkes-Barre School District, so it's going to make it more accessible for all the children they'll all benefit from this and make it a lot easier for everybody. It's a great thing that you guys are working hand in
Yeah.
hand together. It's very important.
Yeah, I agree. So I did Read Across America, and I actually got paired with a juvenile probation officer, and the story that he told them, and I did a fifth grade class, so what are they, 11?
10, 11.
10,
yeah.
11. He actually has a 10-year-old on probation for marijuana.
Oh, boy.
So that is extremely eye-opening from when I went
Yeah.
to school, when
Right.
we all went to school. So
Yeah.
I support this, and I think it's great that we're going to use it for the schools as well.
Thank you.
Yep,
Thank you.
thank you.
Mr. Barrett.
Good evening.
Hi.
How you doing?
I know we were looking at electric bikes, but I had a recent close encounter with one in the business district down here, as we all probably have. And it looks like a large part of this, and correct me if I'm wrong, is going to come back on state regulating the operation of electric bicycles and those types of things, except for in the business district. Is that correct? Or is that-
Yeah, and we talked about
I
that.
think currently you can prevent it in business.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah, that's what I think
Yeah.
he's saying. So he wants to do is, can we right now put it in place that we prevent it in the...
Before it gets, the weather's...
Yeah, and then,
it's-
the rest of the city would fall under the
State
state
regulation.
regulation.
Right, yeah, sure, we could do that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
It's a great idea, yeah. I like that
I
idea.
agree.
Can we, do you have some draft
I
on
believe
this?
you have something.
I do, and so I'll email you what I have.
Yeah.
So right now, at this point, we'll just strictly look to prevent them in the business district.
Yeah,
Everybody agrees?
Yes.
Can they be
Perfect.
totally prevented, or do they have to follow certain guidelines?
I think we
Yeah,
talked about
operate-
this, we can prevent them
on
in,
the sidewalks
Yeah.
or the whole business district.
well, that's something we would want to
That'd be-
discuss.
Keep them out of the business district?
I think if they're on the roads,
That's what I...
A lot of people use them for work, though,
Philadelphia
too.
did it in business districts.
Yeah.
Like the downtown area.
right.
Right.
So preventing them on the sidewalks, or what about, I do know that at some events, they have become an issue, so is this something we just
In
want to
parks and those
strictly?
types of places, too.
Yeah.
They would fall under that.
I mean, where does our business district fall? Like what?
Northampton.
Well, roughly,
From north?
and I haven't looked at the ordinance, but I would say roughly it's probably from, Union Street down to maybe South Street, Penn Ave to River, like something like that. Now, it might be a block longer north or south or
Okay.
something like that, but that's the general area.
We can use the borders of the
Bid.
the bid, right, the improvement business district, which I think you're roughly right. Maybe north to Academy, Pennsylvania to River.
Yeah,
Big
Yeah, or
square.
the boulevard to
yeah,
River.
it's definitely River to Penn Ave,
Or the,
probably Union or maybe a little north and, south or Ross or maybe a little south.
I think it's Academy.
South, I think,
Right.
yeah.
No, it's not only the ordinance,
I'll get you a
it's
map,
the
Jess.
education, and it's the enforcement, or the other components of all of that. So it's gonna take a little bit to put that all together, to make that all work. Legislate all we want, but it's gonna take
Yeah.
some education and enforcement, so.
Enforcement.
But I think the first step is we start looking at how we can legislate this and work
Right.
from there.
I think the police having the e-bikes will help with the regulation
And they're
part
out
of that.
looking
So
That's going to help.
I think we don't prevent them on the street, but prevent them on the sidewalks in the downtown.
We'll take a look what
Okay.
other municipalities have too. 'Cause I know you have
I'll
at least
send,
one.
yeah, I have more than one.
I've
But at
seen,
least one that had the downtown prohibition.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, if you have more than one, send everything you have, so we can
Okay.
look at all of them.
you
Got it.
asked for it.
Remember that on Thursday, you asked for it.
Thank you. No, I think we should move on as quickly as
Okay.
possible. Thank you. That's it. Me?
Me?
Mr. Maron?
No, I had a question for Charlie. But he answered it before the meeting, so I'm good till Thursday.
Now you're up. Well,
Now I'm up.
article.
So when the Woodlands closed, I thought we'd get a reprieve from having those signs about the records
Where'd they move to?
on the, well, we got it, they're all over the telephone poles.
Oh, the Jewish
They
community.
moved to JCC in Kingston, so the signs are back.
I saw a guy put one of those up on Friday, Tom.
Did you yell at
Should
him?
have called him out.
No, I didn't.
So there's none in my neighborhood or on my block. Here you go. You want a
Well, that's the
photo?
one that was in his neighborhood. He's-
This was the one on, it was Cary and Old River Road.
He would just take them
They're
down.
all over the place, all over. Again, so this group doesn't care about Wilkes-Barre in any event. I don't know what we do, Charlie. We make a phone call or something.
Call over to JCCC, contact.
Okay,
Maybe stop at the record fair and ask him.
that's right. We could do a boycott of their record fair. That's all, Madam Chair.
That's it.
I'm
All
a
right.
broken record on this.
That's all right.
I forgot we. Mr. Blishko. This whole order is messing me up.
Just put our names down.
Easily forgotten.
I'll start writing on you.
Two things for the mayor, but he's not here, but first is happy birthday to the mayor. It's today's his birthday, mayor. Secondly, I want to thank the administration and the mayor. They had DPW in Salmons Creek cleaning it out, brush. It's been needed for a long time, and DPW head Dave Lewis had called me yesterday to let me know that they were in there, and they were in there today. I will be going after council meeting to go and actually put my eyes on it. But I thank the administration. Thank you, Charlie, and tell the mayor the same. Thank you, Ms. Chair.
Now me. Thank you. So we met last week, was it last Friday, on Mill and Miller Street, and we were going to do a cost analysis study. Is that something, do you know if that's in the works? I just want to, because,
the mayor, I wasn't at that meeting.
Okay.
but I know he follows up on things, so I don't know where the status is.
because I know we were going to be working with Plains on that, so I just want to make sure it doesn't fall behind, because I know they're ready to do their section.
Okay.
300 block of North Main Street, there is TVs, furniture, it's college kids again, I mean, that section. And then the 700 block of Pennsylvania Ave, there is a fire hydrant there that they painted the lines in front of the fire hydrant and behind the fire hydrant for about a foot. I'm sure, I know the regulation is 5 feet before and 5 feet after it. Can we get that repainted?
Did you send me a quick email?
Yep. And that's all for me today. Anybody else? Anybody got anything? All right. See everybody Thursday.
Not what I want mine for. If there was a garbage can over here, Bill, it'd be in
You
there
going to
already.
this or no?